What if I told you? True magnetism after 60 has nothing to do with looking younger, dressing trendy, or trying harder. In fact, it's the opposite. The women who draw attention effortlessly aren't the loudest, the most styled, or even the most confident. They're the ones who carry something much more powerful. Calm presence, kind energy, and quiet elegance. The kind that makes people feel seen, comforted, and curious all at once. This kind of magnetism isn't about beauty. It's about aura. You don't chase attention. Attention naturally settles around you. And the best part? It doesn't come from anything you wear. It comes from how you show up. Today, I'm sharing 5 tiny habits. So small you can start them today, but so powerful they can change how the world responds to you. These aren't beauty tricks. They're presence habits, rooted in psychology, emotional intelligence, and grace. Ready to become quietly unforgettable. Without saying a word, let's begin. Habit number 1. The presence posture. Not just physical, but emotional posture. Most people think posture is just about standing up straight. Shoulders back, chin up, good for health. But true magnetic posture? It is so much more than that. It's not just how you stand. It's what you silently say about yourself without using words. When you walk into a room, your posture speaks before your voice does. It quietly tells the world, I am comfortable with who I am. I belong here. I am present. And the most beautiful part? This kind of posture has nothing to do with youth. In fact, it gets stronger, richer, and more powerful with age. Think of someone who walks with graceful ease. Not stiff, not forced, just a relaxed, open posture. They don't rush. They don't shrink themselves. They don't hide. They occupy space, softly, confidently. That is emotional posture. A blend of physical alignment and inner assurance. Practice this tiny habit. Before entering any room, store, or even a conversation, pause for 2 seconds. Gently relax your shoulders. Lift your chest just a little. Breathe in. And most importantly, soften your expression, as if you're quietly smiling from within. You are not trying to look confident. You're allowing confidence to settle naturally. When posture comes from inner calm rather than tension, it feels inviting, elegant, and magnetic. People don't just notice you. They feel your presence before they even see you. And once your body silently says, I am here, I am open, and I am comfortable, the next magnetic habit begins in your eyes. Let's move to habit number 2. The warmth window, your eyes as connection, not contact. We've always been told, make eye contact. But here's the truth. Eye contact alone doesn't create connection. In fact, it can sometimes feel intense, intimidating, or even uncomfortable. What truly draws people in is not eye contact, but warmth contact. It's not just looking at someone, it's seeing them. Eyes are not magnets because they look strong or confident. They are magnetic when they look kind, present, and softly interested. That's what I call the warmth window, the subtle way your eyes say, I see you. I hear you. I'm with you. This has nothing to do with staring or trying to look friendly. It's more natural than that. When someone speaks to you, do 3 tiny things. Soften your gaze, relax the eyes, don't overfocus. Let your eyes smile slightly, even without moving your lips. Hold eye contact for a second longer after they finish speaking. This tells them, I valued what you said. That last moment, after they stop talking, is where the magic happens. Most people look away as soon as a sentence ends. But if you gently stay for 1 extra second, it signals warmth, respect, and presence. And presence is magnetic. You don't need dramatic expressions. You don't need to speak more. Just let your eyes communicate calm emotional availability. People often forget your clothes, your hairstyle, your words. But they always remember how your presence made them feel. And once your eyes create that first emotional connection, the next habit deepens it beautifully. Because now, it's time to turn warmth into lasting impact. Let's move to habit number 3. The kindness echo, tiny compliments, huge impact. Some people speak, and their words disappear. But others? Their words linger, echoing in people's minds long after the conversation ends. That's the beauty of what I call the kindness echo, the habit of leaving people a little warmer, a little lighter, just because they cross paths with you. And here's the secret. You don't need big speeches, deep conversations, or dramatic compliments. In fact, the most powerful kind of compliment is small, sincere, and specific. It doesn't focus on looks or superficial traits. It highlights effort, energy, or character. Not, "You look nice today." But, "You have the kind of calming voice that makes people feel heard." Not, "Pretty scarf." But, "That color suits your warmth so beautifully." See the difference? One acknowledges appearance. The other acknowledges presence. These little recognitions do something beautiful. They reflect back to people a version of themselves that they want to believe exists. You show them the best mirror of who they are. And that creates connection, respect, and memory. Try this tiny habit. Every day, leave one genuine echo. Something kind, thoughtful, and softly sincere. Not flattery. Not praise. Just something noticing and human. Why does this make you magnetic? Because most people rush through life unseen, unacknowledged. When you become the one who notices, you become the one they remember. And once your presence is felt not just visually, but emotionally, your words hold weight. Your presence becomes comfort. Ready for the next secret? It's not about speaking more. It's about mastering the elegant power of speaking less. Let's move to habit number 4, the graceful pause, stillness before speaking. In a world where everyone rushes to speak, interrupt, explain, and hurry through conversations, there is something deeply elegant, deeply magnetic, and deeply powerful about a person who is not in a hurry to speak. Someone who doesn't jump to fill silence. Someone who responds, not reacts. This is what I call the graceful pause, the habit of pausing gently before you speak. Not a long, dramatic pause, but just one quiet moment of presence. That tiny pause does 3 powerful things. It shows you listen, not just to reply, but to understand. It gives your words weight. When you finally speak, people lean in, curious. It radiates calm confidence. You don't chase attention. Your presence naturally earns it. Here's the secret. Silence doesn't weaken your presence. It strengthens it. When you pause, people feel that you consider your words carefully. You communicate emotional maturity, thoughtfulness, and grace, without saying a single extra word. Try this. In your next conversation, resist the urge to reply instantly. Breathe. Nod. Let your response arrive slowly. Then speak, calmly without rushing. Notice how people listen more. Notice how what you say suddenly feels more meaningful. A wise woman once said, "You don't have to be the loudest voice, just the one people want to listen to." And the ones we want to listen to? They are not rushed. They are not anxious. They are grounded. Now that you've learned how stillness makes you magnetic, it's time to bring it all together with the secret habit that lights up your presence from within, even before you speak. Let's move to habit number 5, the daily spark of delight. There's a certain kind of woman who walks into a room, and you can't help but notice. She isn't the loudest, the most stylish, or even the most talkative, but she carries a quiet glow, a lightness, a subtle spark. You feel drawn to her, not because of how she looks, but because of how she feels. That glow comes from something I call the daily spark of delight, the tiny habit of carrying one simple joy with you, every single day. Not big happiness, not loud excitement, just soft delight. It could be your morning tea in your favorite mug, watching birds on your balcony, classical music while cooking, the smell of rain, a small walk at sunrise, or even a few minutes of quiet reading. Whatever lights up your spirit, just a little. Here's why it matters. When you experience a moment of delight every day, no matter how simple, it naturally softens your expression, brightens your eyes, relaxes your posture, and warms your presence. People can sense it. Not because you say it, but because you quietly carry it. Joy doesn't have to be loud. In fact, after 60, it becomes softer, deeper, more elegant. It becomes peace. And peace is magnetic. Try this tiny ritual. Every morning, ask yourself, what small moment of joy can I look forward to today? Not a task, not a responsibility, just joy. When you identify it, savor it slowly, like a precious drop of honey on your day. You don't become magnetic by performing, pretending, or pushing. You become magnetic by being quietly, deeply content. And now that we've explored all 5 habits, it's time to bring them together in a powerful, uplifting close. Ready? Let's wrap it up with truth, grace, and inspiration. Magnetism after 60 doesn't come from trying harder. It doesn't come from dressing younger, looking perfect, or being the most confident in the room. It comes from something much simpler and far more real. It comes from the way you show up. When your posture says, I am present and comfortable with who I am. When your eyes quietly say, I see you. I'm here with you. When your words leave a gentle kindness echo behind. When your silence speaks wisdom before your voice does. And when your daily spark of delight adds softness, grace, and light to your presence. That's when you become magnetic. Not because you're trying to attract, but because you've become a steady, warm, and natural source of comfort, grace, and depth. The world doesn't need more loud voices. It needs more calm presence. It needs more women who don't rush, but radiate. Women who don't chase attention, but naturally receive it. And that, dear friend, is exactly who you are becoming. If one habit spoke to your heart today, which one will you begin with? Tell me in the comments, because I'd love to hear your voice. And if this message warmed your spirit, imagine what the next one will do. Subscribe, and let's keep glowing together.